What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance. I'm here to give you my first post-fight video for this year. I actually did a review for the Friday Night Fights, but this is my first after the fight video. Completely after the fight. This is for the Martirosyan and Kassim Ouma. Overall, it was a good matchup. Personally, I thought it was much closer than how the judges had it. Overall, I did think that first off, I'm going to say the score on my card is 96-94 for Martirosyan. But at the same time, there were rounds that could have gone either way. First round, I thought that Kassim Ouma did enough to win the first round because he landed more shots. I thought he landed harder shots, and I thought he was a bit more effective. And I thought that I pretty much thought his work rate in the first round, and the fact that he was throwing a lot of shots, a lot of hard shots to begin with, got on that round. Second round, I'll say this right off the card here. 2nd through 4 was I had for Martirosyan. I thought Martirosyan did very well. He didn't really find his rhythm in the fight. Ouma kept coming forward and punching from angles, as the commentator said. But in these rounds, Martirosyan was landing very clean shots. Landing more shots and outworking Kassim Ouma. And pretty much and on top of that, in a lot of these rounds, in these early rounds, I think that Martirosyan actually outworked him. I think he did outwork him, and I think that as well, he kind of out-jabbed him and pretty much was just landing a lot of shots, but really he wasn't really landing these shots at will. He was just kind of like he would throw like the right hand, and then he would follow up with the left hand, and the left hand would land. But round 4, I thought that Martirosyan kind of stole it from Kassim Ouma because Ouma was actually doing well at the beginning of the round, and at the probably last 30 seconds, Martirosyan just started landing all kinds of combinations on him, and I thought he stole the round. Round 5 was kind of a big change in this fight. It was kind of the beginning of a change in the fight for Martirosyan, because Martirosyan, I believe after round 4, he had a cut over his eye, and with that cut over the eye, he just became a totally different fighter in this round. He came in and he threw, he just started to throw all kinds of wild shots. He just became a different fighter. He wasn't as relaxed as he was in the earlier rounds. He just wasn't as relaxed. He got the cut above the eye and just became hesitant, and Kassim Ouma kind of saw that change. He kind of did a couple little tactics here and there to I guess to upset Martirosyan. He kind of rolled his head onto Martirosyan's eye, and causing more damage and stuff like that. So I scored that round a 10-10. I thought both fights were just as effective in the 5th round. But if one person had to win that round, it'd probably be Ouma, because Ouma did more. I thought Ouma did a little more work, but at the same time, they both were just as effective in that 5th round. And then round 6, I scored for Kassim Ouma. In round 6, I had Kassim Ouma because I thought Kassim Ouma landed more shots in that round, and Martirosyan was just a completely different fighter in round 6. I think the cut really started to bother him, and on top of that, Kassim Ouma started to land a lot of combinations, and his combinations were landing on Martirosyan. So I scored that round for Kassim Ouma. Round 7, I think Ouma kind of took that round off. Martirosyan just I guess took advantage of the fact that Ouma took that round off. He wasn't as effective. He wasn't throwing as many shots in round 7 as he was in the later rounds, and and pretty much he just gave that round to Martirosyan. Round 8, I thought that Ouma didn't punch enough in that round to get the victory. I thought this is another round where Martirosyan outworked him, and then round 9 was the knockdown. It was a knockdown in the middle of an exchange. Kassim Ouma landed I believe it was a right hand. It was it was a flash knockdown, and Martirosyan got right back up. I scored the 10-8 because at least the first minute and a half of that round after the knockdown, Ouma was landing a lot of hard shots, and landing some combinations at will. So, but at the end of the round, I think that Martirosyan was trying to get that point back. I still scored at 10-8. I did give this round to Kassim Ouma. Round 10, I gave it to Martirosyan. Martirosyan ended the round very fierce, and pretty much in a way, I did kind of think that towards the very end of that round, I thought that Ouma just kind of gave up a little bit and just gave him the round. But overall, it was a very close bout. There were rounds could have gone either way. Round 1, 5. I think 2 and 3 could have gone either way. But I did think that it was a much closer fight than what the judges had. I thought this was a good test for Martirosyan. Apparently, him being the crowd favorite, the judges are definitely going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And overall, it was just a good overall test for Martirosyan. And Kassim Ouma, I did see an article on last week in Unboxing Scene about how he was ready to come back and prove himself. And tonight he did prove himself to me that he was ready for. I think he is. I think he still can compete or contend for a championship in 154-pound division. I think he does give trouble to a lot of fighters, especially if he gave trouble to Martirosyan tonight. I think it opened a lot of eyes that he did stay and compete with Martirosyan. But overall, it was a good matchup, very good, solid matchup, solid card. I had 96-94 Vanes Martirosyan. Kassim Ouma, I did think it was close. I did think somewhat that the fight could have been a draw as well. But I did score rounds for Martirosyan because he did have a good work rate in the fight, and he did land a lot of good clean shots, and landed more clean shots than Ouma was able to. So I scored 96-94 Vanes Martirosyan. But anyway, thanks for watching. That was Distance. Peace.